every single one of you.
I want you to deal with your problems by becoming rich.
This is my home. They're gonna need a wrecking ball to take me out of here.
Good day, everybody. Whether it's morning, evening, or anywhere in between, welcome to unRekt Traders. We'll take a look at HBAR here on Binance. Currently on the machine, we are on the monthly as well. And what we're kind of seeing right now is a possible move down to the 10 here, which is green currently. And that would bring us down to the 7 cents. Well, let's just say 8 cents. Now we do have the 20 white well above that plus 100 range on the quasi here. So price is going to find support at the 93.94 cent level. So, you know, this body could come down to the support here and possibly wick right down to that 10, maybe even this 20. However, it will have to, the body itself will likely close above the monthly here. Actually, it will close above the monthly. So if we do have a wick come down, or the body does come down by the end of the month, the body of the candle itself should close above 9.3. But we could have that wick come down to that 7. So it's actually a good sign. And a lot of the coins are actually showing this right now, where, you know, price is wanting to push down into that level, but pretty strong support at the higher 20 Bollinger Band. So again, if we have a wick come down, then we could see a nice long for the body to close above support by the end of the month. If it does come down to that level there, we're looking at 23%. And then if it did actually hit that level, then you'd be looking at a long back to support, which would be, you know, that 20% again, basically. So that is a nice potential there. Coming into the weekly, we have the 20 mean reversion as of right now, strong support on the 50 and 100. So we do have that strong support here at 94. And then we also have strong support where price actually wants to come to for the mean reversion on the 20 white. And that would be that 9 cent level, basically. So, you know, highly probable that price will come down, body to the support, and then a wick down into that body, tag the mean reversion, hit the support, and then from there we'll see how price wants to react off of that. Whether we push higher, take a liquidity above here, come up to that 3.2, or, you know, we do break down into the 100 Bollinger Band and then come into that 50 and 100 down here, where support is basically at 6.65. So it'll just be a matter of what happens. But again, on the weekly itself, you know, we more or less want to get to here first, and then we can kind of make a decision once we get there. On the 3-day, kind of the same thing for the most part, coming down to this 200 Bollinger Band, support at the 50 aqua, and the 100 is acting as a little bit of support as of right now. So, you know, price could come to that 9.8 and then kind of come back up to that 20. We're already finding resistance on the 20 white here. Now the 10 is kind of low, so we'll see if it stays into trend and continues to push downward, with the 20 flowing downwards, 100 coming into the range. Then we come, you know, easily come to that 8.7 level. Or does the 10 pop up a little quicker than what it's doing? Because right now it's just sideways. And then we get a move back up to the top of this resistance. Probably more likely to lower level this bearish candle or lower level this bullish candle, and then from there continue to push downward. Kind of looking at coming into this range into here more or less, and then push down from there to this target here. So move up and down. Come into the daily. On the daily itself, not much difference really. We're in trend on the 20 to the downward direction, 10 wanting to pop back up to this 11 cent area. Again, filling in the imbalance on this candle for the most part. You know, we have decent resistance here on these lower level candles, and then you know, so kind of coming up into here, see how high it wants to go, see if it can break out of this resisted band. And then from there, push down further to the possible targets at the 100 and then the 200 at 7.8. And that's on the daily itself right now. So you can see on the quasi here, we got that 200 coming down into that, just below that plus 100 range. But we do have that 10. And we just broke into this 200 for the most part. And typically what we see is when the 10 is pushing up as something's coming in, then we try to break free of it. before coming back in and then running to the mean reversion. So there is that probability that we do push up higher, up into this kind of supportive resistive range, and then from there push lower. 4 hour itself, on the 4 hour, we are in trend to the downward direction currently. We can see that the 50 aqua here is pretty strong resistance as of right now. Even the 100 for the most part. We can kind of see that on price as of right now. Everything is trending down other than the 20. And the 20, you know, we're riding the bottom of that 20 Bollinger Band with support at the 10 cents, and then a resistive mark at 10.4. So basically 10.2 to 10.4. Price, when this 10 does kind of move up a little bit, is it going to do too much? Well, we'll have to wait and see. But we could technically move up to this 20 here, and then from there just continue in the downward direction, or kind of continue doing what we're doing as this 20 moves down, and then we have another impulse candle to the downward direction. As long as we get that impulse candle to the downward direction, breaking the structure, then we continue in that downward direction as well. And you can kind of see that here where, you know, we broke structure with this candle to the downward, breaking structure here. Nice impulse. Again, impulse again. Had a little bit of bullish range, impulse down, breaking structure here as well. And we've kind of more or less, now things are showing a little bit of weakness here. And that's why I'm saying what we really want to see is one more impulse down to downward direction, breaking structure here, and then we can see a continuation in that trend. I think I'll leave it on the 4 hour. There's not too much reason to go into the 1 hour for the most part. We do have we do have a mean reversion up to that 10.8 level, but again, tons of support or resistance, sorry, even on the 200 here. That 200 Bollinger Band is really low down here. And, you know, basically once this 200 Bollinger Band came out of the range here, then we've had that nice push to the downward direction, riding the 10 and the 20 for the most part until we came to that 50. Coming to the 50 does show a little bit of weakness, but again, you know, we are making some changes. This candle could be the one that actually changes our direction on the 1 hour for now, just because it's a nice impulse candle up and through breaking structure here. But again, you know, we did take out that low, even though it is by a wick from this candle again. So, you know, we may see one more impulse up. If we get another impulse up, then things could change on the 1 hour trend. But as of right now, I would say that we are still bearish, and we're going to have a tough time as of the present moment getting through that 10.5. So will price come to that 10.5? Probably highly likely, just based upon what we're kind of seeing with price coming to the 50s here. But and then from there, we'll see if we can take out liquidity at least one more time. We'll look at the Nexus now and see what we have. If you guys like the content, please hit the like and subscribe, help the channel grow. I would really appreciate it. And on the Nexus itself, we'll look at the higher time frame first. Now let me zoom out to the 4 hour. So on the 4 hour, you know, we came up to that yearly R2, which is decent bullishness on the yearly. This yearly was actually lower than the previous one. So we were looking for a continuation to the downward direction until we broke the upper range level, which we did. Once we broke that upper range level, we're looking for the previous year high and then the yearly R1. So we actually broke up through the previous year high straight to the yearly R1, found support on the previous year high, which is what we've done since basically February. And, you know, we got that yearly R2. Quarterly itself, we are bullish. So this quarterly down here came up, looking for continuation to the upward direction. Now we are showing some weakness on the quarterly actually, coming through that bottom. And with the coming through that bottom, then we'll be looking at price coming back to the previous range or the 3-month S1. So this previous range will act as nice support. We also have the yearly there as well. So if we do actually break below this previous year high, then there is a probability that we will come down. We do have some equal lows, so there is quite a bit of liquidity sitting in this range area here. So it is possible that we do break down, coming down into maybe this supportive range here at 86, or right into the actual previous range into the yearly, and then we'll see if we can actually get to that previous 3-month low, or we go bullish again and push higher. Let's take a look at the monthly and the weekly, and then we'll call our quits. Come into a smaller time frame. So on the monthly, as of right now, this questionable whether we hit the monthly or not. Weekly itself is still naked, so we have quite a nice potential for a long here in all actuality. On the monthly levels, we are looking for that continuation to the upward direction until we fall through. And this one's really questionable whether it hit or not. As of right now, we did fall through for the most part, or we opened below the monthly. When we open below the monthly, we do look for the previous month low first, which we've already gotten. And, we did have a little bit of a bearishness below the weekly S1, potential to come to the weekly S2. And then on the weekly itself, we are same thing, continuation to the upward direction. This would be our first resistive level for the most part on the weekly. And we would want price to come to the previous week high, take that out. And then if we do get through there, then we'll be looking at taking liquidity at this level, coming into that previous month high, and then go from there. So again, that weekly is a naked. Our previous week low, we've already fallen through. And, we're kind of showing resistive on the weekly S1. Potential to come to weekly S2, I guess, is there. See if we do get that push, one more push down before continuation upward direction. We could use the daily as our test bed for the most part, using the top of that daily range. So if I zoom in a little bit more, we can take a look at this daily. And if we break above this daily, we do have this range kind of just above us, but that acts as resistance on the daily, but we could push up and through. It has acted as resistance once already, showing some weakness. And then so we'll kind of have to see how this plays. As of right now, we're bearish on the daily as well. And we'd have to get above this previous range at 10.37 before pushing up higher and coming in. But overall, no matter what happens on the weekly, today is Wednesday, Thursday, depending on where you are. But we do have this weekly naked. So even if you did go with a small long, we are looking at 14% for the most part. To the actual mid pivot 16. So if you wanted to play it really safe and just come up to the previous week low, you could go for the possibility of that 7%. And that would be decent profits on a long. And just don't go crazy. There's the potential that we don't go here and you get wrecked. But if you DCA in, put a small little bit here, expect to come lower, and then get that push into that weekly or to the previous week low, and hopefully it works out in your favor. All right, guys, that's all I got, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.
Visit unRekt.me and download our free powerful indicators, and join our community of traders in our Discord server and get full access to the Machine Suite indicators, the Nexus Suite indicators, and the Nexus Screener.